Hi, we're live.
Hi, everybody.
Teri and I are just sitting here talking about all the fun changes.
Lots
How
of
much fun it
excitement.
is to have the sun explode on you and then send down its rays. And it,
Yeah. How it
so,
affects everybody differently, too. We
mhm,
both had completely, our bodies had different reactions, and
mhm.
our spirit sure did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we both focused on where we needed to start dealing with things.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot of energy. And I know a lot of you had days that were like you either had to take some time for yourself or the world gave you an opportunity to take time for yourself.
Right.
You had to.
Yes. It didn't allow you any other options.
Yeah. Which is
Glad to see Angla's here. Angela lives in Finland, and that was sort of
cool.
ground zero. If you've ever seen how the rays come into how that comes in, Finland always looks like the target that they land on. So I hope you're feeling better, Angela.
Wow. Yeah, Angla. Isn't Finland one of the happiest places in the world? It's
Yeah,
one of
she and
those
I've talked
countries.
about that. She thinks that's sort of like Trump is winning Poland.
That's funny. That's great. Hey,
And
Carl. He's saying first time with Nancy.
oh, well, there's always a first, sweetie. Oh, I got to tell you the funniest story. I went. It wasn't funny that I went to Mother's Day with my oldest son. That was pleasant. Yes, you can get a reading. You have to put it in capitals, Carl. I'll put that banner on. This is it. Okay. Uh, my oldest son and I went to this restaurant, and we had just decided the last minute to meet, and just after he left his church services. So you know, going in about lunchtime on Mother's Day, not a great idea. So we went to this little restaurant that I like because it's got a parking garage and you can get into it without having to walk in the rain. And it was raining here. And the patio was kind of filled. There was this family group right at the door of the restaurant, and they were shuffling umbrellas around. So I figured these folks are waiting for their car to pull around to pick them up. And right next to the mom was a little girl about rather tall, but 4 years old. And she looked up at me. She goes, "You have purple hair."
Oh,
And I said, "Yes, I do." And she goes, "Mommy, mommy, this lady has purple hair." And her mother was, if you've never been a mom, you don't understand this. Yes, your children are charming and engaging, and but you're kind of like, yeah, sure, I'm sure the woman has purple hair. Uh huh. And so the little girl kept saying, so finally they got themselves arranged and they were going to get out of the way so he could get in the door. And the mother turned back to get the little girl. And she looked up and she saw my hair and she says, "Oh my God, it's purple." And the little girl said, "I told you it was purple." So, anyway, as this whole rather well dressed up for church Sunday dressed group was streaming off across the patio to go get in their car, the little girl turns around and she says real loud, "Goodbye, lady with purple hair."
oh,
And I said, "Goodbye, little girl."
kids are so cute.
They
Yeah.
are.
But, and we were just talking about that backstage too, that are in the studio that, it was like, there are people that don't hear us and
Uh huh.
there's people that don't see us and, how we're almost on different planets already.
Mm hmm.
So different dimensions.
Yeah.
But
And I was explaining to Terry that my next Nine Candles is going to be on becoming. And I read her a part of the poem that all came from. And it's because the person, one of the characters in the poem's talking to God and says, "I'm tired of everything falling off. I'm tired of this chunks of my life around me. And, I'm tired of carrying them." And God said, "Well, leave them on the ground and see if you need them." Anyway, the person's really, really pissed and says, "Well, I don't like this at all." And God said, "It's okay. And I don't want to change anymore. I don't want to change anymore." God said, "You're not changing, you're becoming." And I think we've all felt like from COVID on, we had to go through so many sudden changes and mind shifts and how we'd handled everything. And now we're gonna get a chance to breathe, guys. I know it doesn't feel like it, but the northern lights were sort of the end of it for me. I mean, they're beautiful, absolutely gorgeous,
yeah,
but the night they hit, they really hit me. They hit my heart, and I they made my heart race all night, and I wear a Fitbit, and I know exactly what my heart rate is all the time, and it was not pleasant. And I went, what was all that about? And it was that, and my guide said, well, we've put an umbrella around you now, so it can't come get you. But it was going right into your, and I said, was it like recharging my heart so it can get bigger and better or whatever? And they said, well, we just didn't want you to get to the point you were in pain. And I've never had heart pains. If I have heart pains, I won't be talking to Teri and talking to you. I'll be talking to my friendly cardiologist, who, by the way, his aunt is one of the leading astrologers in India. So we can talk about what I do. He said, you're like my aunt. You're not wired like we are.
Wow, that's amazing. I love Indian astrology, Jyotish. So I've had my chart done a couple of times in Jyotish, and it's really interesting. It's really
Mm-hmm.
different, but I love that they, you know, in the East, it's real typical that you would do astrology and you do medicine. I mean, they kind of every or matchmaking and astrology or all these different things. It's
Mm-hmm.
also interchangeable. So it's going to be there here, I think, pretty soon. So I had an opportunity. I was telling Nancy Jean that
Mm-hmm.
to release. I had some stomach issues, and it gave me a pause all day. That I was in my bedroom
Mm-hmm.
and watching Downton Abbey nonstop because that's very soothing to me. And I was like, what is it that I have to release right now? And I got on Dr. Gail's show for the her healing special on Saturdays,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, what is this? And trying to figure it out. Anyway, everything was okay that night, but then the next morning, a friend asked me. She was doing a thing on her forum on her website, like talk a little bit about your mom, what you remember about your mom for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that, and I thought I never released that. Like my mom died in my 20s, and in your 20s, you really don't have the frame of mind, I think, or I didn't anyway, to
You're
know
probably
what you're going
not a mom, so you don't have the,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah. Like my kids will never know my mom. You know, she wasn't at any of my weddings, my two weddings.
I know, like the 47 I had, she couldn't make them.
Yeah. So anyway, but and so I had a nice big cry, and I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that's not the last thing I have to release, but that was a biggie. So
My mother's birthday is May 11th. My father's birthday was May 10th. So they were always right around Mother's Day. Matter of fact, my father died on his birthday 19 years ago. Was it 19 years ago?
wow, that's powerful.
19 years ago. And he died the same day I was hospitalized because I thought I had lung cancer. So I couldn't go to the funeral, do any of that stuff. But yeah, I have a whole lot of things. I was not around my parents when they died. I didn't get to hold their hands and say goodbye. And I hear people talk about how horrible that was that they didn't get to do that. I don't live in a family that does that. I do. When I had my knees replaced, the social worker actually came in and said, do you really have the support in your family to get through this? And I said, why would you ask that? And they said, well, your daughter barely comes by to see you. And I said, and my other son is in Austin, and the other son is in Japan right now working. So I said, and I have a friend who works at Baylor who's right across the street. She comes and visits me every day. I have a restaurant where the restaurant owner wants me to come. I didn't tell her he wanted me to come read tarot, but he wants me to come do some stuff with him. And he sent someone every day to see if there's anything I needed. So it's not like I wasn't watched, but they were like, your family should be here. And my family, we're like, so not in that pattern. We're like, you're sick. If you don't call me in 24 hours, I'll come check on you. Um, and if you need anything, you can call, you know?
Yeah, yeah. You're a strong woman, and you were. Oh, that was the other thing that we were talking about: is standing in your power,
Mm-hmm.
um, and and how this. all of this power. It's like a big power thing right now. I feel like we're really recognizing our strength and our powers and standing in it. Like things that I wouldn't have thought to say to somebody a few years ago, to speak clearly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, as my guides tell me, you were raised to be such a polite little child, you're learning how to be ruder.
I kind of love that.
I do
Yeah.
too. Well,
Yeah.
and the thing is, a lot of you, I saw some of the questions, and I have no problem answering these questions about where should I go and where should my power be and stuff. But when people really want me to make major life decisions for them, I can't do that. That's
Yeah.
not my job. You gotta, I mean, I didn't get here because somebody else was holding my hand and took little Nancy Jean down the sidewalk and said, go do this. Trust me. I had to pick them out, pick it up, and take myself places. And I mean, it didn't mean I didn't have people I could bitch to, as you can undoubtedly tell. I've been doing that a lot of my life. But I just don't think, I think that one of the things that the Nine Candles is going to be about in becoming, it's becoming yourself. I can't become you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think there's a difference between change and that, because people say, well, how do you think I should be changed? Well, I might have some ideas about that, but I don't know what in your soul ties to the word become.
Right. What brings you joy and wonder?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if that's what you want to become, they may want to become miserable and sad and live in the dark corner. I've had a few of those. I have a few of those.
And those are the people that don't see the people that live in joy and wonder.
That's right. And so they don't visit our channel. We're a joy and wonder channel.
Yeah, you have purple hair.
I have
I have two-tone hair this month.
Made that mother wake up to the fact maybe her 4-year-old's not telling her lies all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
So I see Dr. Gale's here.
And it's 1:11. Hi, Dr. Gale. Perfect timing.
So if it's 1:11, it's time for us to start doing questions.
Yep. Oh, okay. I need to get some more cards out.
Yeah, well, do what you need to do. I'm going to switch you to what I call my table so you can see the table and you can see the stuff that's on it. And I will highlight the question. And if Rosie B wants a reading. No, there's specificity in a jar. Okay. What do I need? What does Rosie B need to see for herself today? That's my question. I'm going to you can ask whatever you want, Teri.
Okay.
You can pull an oracle card or reading cards, whatever you want to do.
Okay. The first thing I'm seeing, Rose, is like a blossom. Your guides are showing me, or our guides are showing me a circle,
Mm-hmm.
like kind of like ring around the rosy. Sorry to say,
Mm-hmm.
but and your picture is the flower, but things are blossoming.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of blooming right now. Be sure you're taking care of yourself, relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important for everybody here. Like there's going to be times right now when we need to kind of settle down, and self-care is going to be so important through all this. Innocence.
Mm-hmm.
So look at Ganesh looking at his flower.
I take it this is Ganesh deck.
Yeah, this is this is definitely a Ganesh deck. Lord Ganesh. So innocence, what brings you joy and wonder? And healing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going on, but it feels like you've been going through a healing process, Rosie. And now you're starting to blossom, because then you get what's the Chariot in this deck. So it's like things are going to start moving pretty quickly for you. Yeah.
Okay, because what I got is, she's figured out what the problem really was, but it's caused a real consternation between her heart and her mind. That's the Two of Swords. And one of those swords is your heart and one's your mind. And it's kind of like, which one do I follow? And you're right in the toss. I'm glad you saw the Chariot right side up for her, because I've got it upside down. She's really not sure what direction to roll in. and she thought she'd know by the end of spring. I think you're going to know by summer because, girl, do you have it coming? Transition. That's the biggie. That's where everything you knew is back behind that black door and everything is in front of you. So that's your reading, Rosie. I hope I hope it fits. I think with what Teri saw, it does. So that's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay. May I get a reading, please, Carmela? We're gonna do the same thing, Carmela. Well, Lyra Aquila, but she put the other word because I've done a grid for her, and that's her name.
Oh, I like them both.
Mm-hmm.
Lyra and Energy.
Mm-hmm.
Acciano.
Okay.
So, oh, you go ahead.
No, you go because my cards aren't even out yet. I got that
Oh,
one.
okay. Lyra, have you been doing some shadow work, perhaps? So, have you been like that's what happened for me this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I had an opportunity to go
Mm-hmm.
deep. So it feels like you've been going deep. You've been looking at things. You've got a fertile foundation. Um, wow. Okay. Inspiration, liberty, standing in your power, girl. So this is beautiful. And we can stand in our power when that happens. You might feel like an odd sock, which a lot of us do when we're woo woo, right? You might be trying on different things or different modalities of healing, different modalities of energy. Um, huh. And then grateful for the storm is the last one I get. I am open to blessings of the storm. So just, I love that poem that Nancy Jean was talking about things kind of falling apart. And we do that when shadow work happens. And then we find the lesson in it and the strength,
Mm-hmm.
stand in your power with it.
Yeah, I've got the same. You started with the same card as the other reading. You've kind of figured out which way you want to go. Are you thinking about moving, girl? Because this car would be moving from one place to another that's safer, and it's to be with people you really want to be with, which as opposed to hanging around because I've known this neighborhood forever. And then you're this card I'm reading as you're a little concerned about the money, but that's going to fade away. I think by the end of June, or maybe even into Cancer, into July, that money problem is going to fade away. You're going to figure out how to make this work, and it all looks good. Let's see. Yeah, this move is huge. You got the tower, and boy, it's taking you forever to get there, but it's really good for you. And the tower, by the way, in case you people freak when you see it's a tower, everything's falling out. That's not what the tower means. The tower means a clean sweep and we get to move on to something else. Our lives would be literally, we could never become anything if we didn't go through tower moments to get rid of crap. Okay. Next question. Hypnicity. I'm going to go. Okay. About being nervous about your YouTube channel. If you can find, don't have to find this kind. This is a tiger's eye. I bought this tiger's eye because it has every single color of tiger's eye you can have in a tiger's eye. But you need to find a small piece of tiger's eye or a really strong grounding stone that has more than one color on it because you're going to have more than one set of feelings passing through you. But if you're holding on to this or have it next to you when you're starting your channel, it will help. It'll funnel in more grounding. Nerves are when we're not connected to the earth.
Yeah. Hypnicity, you're so ready. So I pulled from a couple of decks for you. You get the dancer. So that's you in energy. You're already playing. It's like you've been here a long time in the chat. You've been helping everybody in the chat for so long. This is just a natural progression
Mm.
to embody. Um, you're going to love it. You get the lovers. And I
Mhm.
feel like you're going to have a huge, huge following right away. Um, and I see you working with a lot of interesting people. Hello, me too. I mean, work with all of us.
Mhm.
Um, um, this is your karmic path.
Mhm.
So you get justice. You're going to have a lot of choices. So just watch that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And sometimes that's a good thing because then we find out what we really want the channel to be. Like my channel has turned into something different than I thought it would be
Mhm.
at the beginning.
Yeah. My advice to anyone who's thinking about starting a channel or starting one, write out, and I know this sounds like an impossible task, but when you get going, you'll fill it out. Write out about 100 topics you could talk on. Even if it's just a little 10-minute something. Write out 100 different ideas. Now, for me, it was really easy because I had a spreadsheet with 1,000 crystals on it. So, but write out 100 different questions, and then you won't get to that point of, oh my God, I can't think. And you can pull one out. I still have my early notebooks, and I've started re going back into some of the material I started with because not everybody was there 3 years ago. So, at the risk of boring yous who've hung in there for all this time, anyway, for hypnicity, what I see is this is the Seven of Cups, and you've waited it out. You don't feel like you have any delusions about running a channel anymore. It's been hard for you to part from the life you've had to head into a more public life, but you feel like you can help lead people. This is you. You're the hermit leading people up the mountain. See them all following your light. You're having a good time.
Mm.
Your biggest problem, hypnicity, and I'm going to guarantee you are going to fit right in with every other reader I know that's on YouTube. Control. How do I control everything? You can't. But just as long as you recognize there's a part of me that wants to hold on to everything, and there's nothing hidden from you, nothing that you don't know, nothing you don't understand. So quit thinking that's out there. Just go ahead and enjoy it. And like I said, get a real pretty, either a really bright red grounding stone or a stone like a tiger's eye that has that kind of energy around you. Craig Dixon. I see Clara's pictures in crystals, and I have a poster of her that is warm to the touch. I take this as energy for communication and healing. Am I right? Oh, I'll see if you're right. I don't know who Clara is.
Clara is one of his guides, and it's
Okay.
Clara. Oh, she's a famous actress. She's
Clara
passed.
Bow?
I think so. Is it Clara Bow, isn't it?
Yeah, she's very stylistic looking face. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy.
Okay, let's see. See if Craig's getting healing energy off of. Yeah, I've seen a bunch of Clara Bow movies because remember I majored in broadcast film, so I got to spend 3 years in college watching movies.
Oh, that's right. And he says, yes, Clara Bow.
Yes, I saw a lot of her movies. She's one of the actresses that didn't switch to sound because she had a really weird voice.
Oh, wow.
Well, most of them came out of New York City, so they talk like uh, that. Hi, I'm from Brooklyn kind of voices. Not mine always go to Southern because I've been here too long. But anyway, yes, you're okay. Yes, it's communication and healings because it's working with Clara has helped you turn your back on worrying about the old things. She's opening you up to new thoughts. She's been part of your household for quite a while. There's something in your household you want to change. It may not be Clara, but there is something in your house, and I would definitely. I don't usually tell people this, but go get some dragon's blood or some sage. You've pulled something in. It's not horrible, but it's making your house uncomfortable for you right now. Um, you can keep everything in balance, and You need to not get fixated on things. I think Clara is bringing you healing energy and communication, and she sent us to tell you, if you don't know what the violet flame is, it's a prayer to clear your house. You can find it on my website under resources. There's a folder that says resources. It's in there. Craig, I'd learned how to say that. I think you've been working with some elements, and it's nothing you did wrong. Trust me, because I do the violet flame and burn sage all the time. Things slip in, and something slipped in, and it's been making you feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's saying, okay, dragon blood.
Dragon's blood is it's an oil. Okay, it comes in. You can find it online. Oh, I can't. That's not going to help. I've got to go to the other camera. Okay, I can do it this way. I got to know which camera I'm on. I majored in broadcast film. You can obviously tell. Um, that's dragon's blood. You just put a few drops of that in an air sprayer, and you can mist it around the room, and it really, really is helpful. I have that, and except mine is already in a black container, so I can mist it. It it works on it works on spirits that shouldn't belong in your office and cats. Cats, I just found out because it's mist them. It's just the sound of the sprayer.
I'm going to write that down then. Okay. Well, I've got your purple flame right here, your violet flame.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting a revelation, and that's that energy that's coming in for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this is also work that you've done, not just Clara, but this is you opening your senses and your clairs and becoming aware of your energy, not just hers. And this is you seeing that reflection. Totally. This is going to be a new beginning for you. It's like the start of something wonderful. And it's going to give you insight. So it's going to give you an upgrade, like transformation side. So it's like this is going to take you to new levels. So
yeah, where you live is a lovely place. You wouldn't have the Ten of Cups if it wasn't. But the Nine of Pentacles tells me there's just something a little disruptive in it. When I read people and that shows up, I'll always say to people when I do live readings, is something wrong with your house? And they'll tell me, oh yeah, the refrigerator just died or something. I mean, but I think in your case, it means something's crossed into your space and you just need to clean it up. Talk to Claire about it. She'll help you.
Yeah, he's saying I'm Native American and Hispanic. And he did purchase items and films on eBay. Could have. Yeah.
Did you clean them? I mean, honest to God, I get a new deck that's all sealed up in plastic from the tarot deck stores or the oracle deck stores. I open each one up and do a blessing over it and clean it because you don't know who was in that factory the day it got printed. You don't know who got close to your stuff. And I was really careful about doing that. And before COVID, I worked a party and I brought something home and I ended up with the whole haunting sort of critter in my room. And mind you, in my bedroom at that time had a wall of crosses. This is one gutsy demon. And I got rid of it.
Yeah, we had something come in a while back to the house and had to do a cleanse. I never knew why I was so sensitive. Like even if I'd buy a new outfit, it would sit in my closet for 3 months before I'd wear it. I never liked to do anything when I first get it. I let it kind of veg. And
you can just sage them all and you'll smell like turkey dinner. I mean, you know.
Yeah. That's true.
Miranda, what is it that I need to focus on right now? I'm going to start. That's the question I'm going to ask. I can't believe it. That's the 4th time I've pulled that damn card.
Wow.
You know what it is. I'm going to pay attention to that card and meditate on it this afternoon, cause. Well, girl, you might be feeling a little overwhelmed right now. I think it has something to do with a child. There's also a man involved, but he's being very supportive. You're figuring out some problems, so you're like, is that right? Is that what I really should be doing? Yes, it is. There's a man and a child involved, and you're girl, can you just not accept happiness? I mean, you're having a happy family thing right now, and your summer's going to be wonderful. But let's see what's going on with the kid. Do you have? I don't know if you're divorced or your spouse has a child, but I see there's two men fighting over this child, and that kind of upsets you, and you want that child freed from that. But as soon as that happens, everything's open, and that may have already happened and be happening right now. So it's fine. And what's your thing? Yeah, this says that you, even though there's some changes happening at your job that worry you, you're kind of worried about, you're having a feeling like I may need to be out of here, but I don't think you will because the transition doesn't come through. But it's still, if you open your heart up, it's really all good, beautiful things happening around you. It's just, how do you frame it?
She's saying, yes, problems with my boy's father and his grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's coming across with a very masculine energy, isn't she, the grandma?
Yeah. Well, now we know how daddy learned to be daddy.
Yeah. So I get live and learn. It might feel like something's falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, be patient with yourself. This is a learning process, an opportunity, a growth opportunity. Um, treat yourself. So I think this is about the kids,
Mm-hmm.
you know, getting into the sweet stuff. It's time to kind of treat yourself to life, treat yourself well by life. So I do feel like things are going to go well. And here's the kids again.
Mm-hmm.
So pace yourself. I don't know if this has been going on for a while with you, but just realize again, I get the odd sock. So
Mm-hmm.
know that you're uniquely and wonderfully you, no matter what
Mm-hmm.
anybody says to you, Jen, you've got this. You
Yep.
might do it a different way than other people, but that's the right way for you. I do see a celebration coming in. I face life
Mm-hmm.
with openness and love. And you still got different socks on, just the way you are. You're in exactly the right place.
Mm-hmm.
So
Good.
yeah.
Okay. And Dina Donatella, Telly, we're gonna do a reading for you. What do we need to let Dina see? What can we help her see? You're already seeing it, girl. You just gotta focus.
Yeah, I'm feeling something in my throat chakra. So I don't know if you're speaking your truth to somebody or if you have had a past of not being able to speak your truth. This can also be what you're saying to yourself, self-talk,
Mm-hmm.
when you're working, like what you hear yourself saying to yourself.
Yeah, she wants out of something, and it's a power move.
Oh, you go ahead. I'm going to pull some cards on that.
Okay, you've got 2 8s on here, and 8s are when you're in your money and your power, and this is you, people are telling you lies, and you know they're lies, and you're not saying that's a lie, and you're getting in the boat with the wrong folks, and that boat's not going to sail anywhere. It's upside down, and it's because you really want to believe what they say. So that's the foundation. Is your head and your heart have figured this out, and I think she's figuring her way out of here. Not quite yet. Yep, you're going to be changing, moving residence sometime relatively soon, as an effect of these things that they're not telling you the truth.
I'm looking to see if she's saying anything. I get to see her. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, sometimes we try to see things in different ways, Dina,
Mm-hmm.
and make things work. But also visualize what you
Right.
want out of this. Like, be clear with what you're telling yourself and others what you want. Then I get a sorceress. So, and I'm kind of feeling like that might be somebody in your group that's kind of spinning things a little bit. Um,
They're energetically choking her.
oh, because look at the web. There's
Yeah,
a web in
I,
there.
I mean, I just sat back in my chair and I had an experience in my life and I had to do some shadow work to get rid of it. But I would occasionally feel strangled from the inside. And when I leaned back, it was she feels what you used to feel in your throat. Um, I it's your life and you can do what you want, but you are very, very aware of what's going on around you.
Yeah. Yeah. Find your power,
Mm-hmm.
and move your own dream. Like, this is your new path. So I feel like you've got it. You need to visualize it and
Mm-hmm.
kind of conceive it, dream it, and this is the best time to do that, Tina.
This is
Um,
the bottom of her deck, 6 of coins. It's just waiting to come to you. You have to get free of giving it away too much.
yeah, yeah, let go. So you've got that big portal behind you there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And is that statue holding a bow and arrow?
yep. Direction.
Yeah, let it go. Shoot that arrow. As soon as you shoot it, you'll be free.
Yeah, speak
Don't
your
shoot
truth.
it at someone, please. I didn't.
Yeah, not physically,
Mm-hmm. You
but
done?
yeah,
Okay. I mean, remember, we try to give you the best advice we see in the cards. You have to do it. It's what you feel inside yourself. But I
yeah.
think she's built up enough to understand.
She says
I
she
hmm?
does want to. She said she does want to move, but finances are preventing it. I am. That's true.
Pull the trigger on starting the move, and the finances will appear. That's what I get.
Yeah, visualize it,
Uh-huh.
manifest it. Yeah.
I just moved into a really nice apartment. Oh, this is a good one to follow her story. But I haven't paid the deposits. Two of the monies have been waiting and are so delayed. I will I get deposit funds, I guess defunds this week. So I won't have to move out this Sunday. Oh, let's see.
Carl.
Carl. Are you a Pisces, Carl? I have a son in the same situation.
At least you're
What
jumping
about
now.
that? Yeah.
Ooh, I get sanctuary. That's your house. That's your
Mhm.
apartment. It's like something that you really like. And I feel like you kind of visualized it. I do get you're a magic maker. And it's going to be raining something. Um, uh, and with that, recognize that you can manifest this because that's about
Mhm.
sense
Mhm.
and sensing everything and what you want. And you guys, when you want to visualize and manifest something, smell it, feel it, taste it, and that brings in your clairs. Um, yeah, cleanse, spirit.
Mhm.
Let's see what this last one is. Theater. Yeah. And there's your house. I feel like you're standing in your light and you'll get it.
Yeah, but you've been your own worst enemy in this. You
Yeah.
go to sleep every night thinking, "Oh, damn, is that check going to show up?" You got to let it go. Turn this one around so it says, "The check's here. Yay." I mean, feel it physically. What a relief that will be to you. God, I can't tell you what would be a relief to me if I didn't have to think I had to pack up on Sunday. Um, this situation is going to work out. It's the people that are dealing with the checks are sort of some false promises, folks. They don't mean to. They're just innately inefficient. Um, that this means the money's there. This is your house is there, and once you get to it, it's like you're afraid. If I really get this apartment, is it going to be as good as I think it is? So you're dealing from fear. And what I saw you on the bottom of the deck is it's the 10 of Wands, which is you just need to let this whole situation go and realize it's going to be there.
Yeah. Most beneficial outcome,
Mm-hmm.
Carl, for
Mm-hmm.
the good of all concerned, however you want to say that. But yeah, it's all
Okay.
you do every day waiting for the money. Yeah. That's true.
Oh, My daughter has a custody case on Friday. The father has a written pages of lies. Well, that's because he's in a custody case. There's actually a restraining order on him, which he omitted from his filing. Oh, how does the outcome look? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Diana, if your daughter doesn't have a lawyer, she needs to get a copy of that filing, and she can get it because I would assume the restraining orders from her. I'd make sure I had that in my back pocket. Or maybe your daughter's just not telling you everything that's going on, but her lawyer should have all that stuff on her. And you have my sympathies. I went through a year and a half of a custody battle. It's not fun.
Yeah, they're saying document, document, document.
Right. And I hope she's got a lawyer going in with her because
Yeah.
matter of fact, a week ago yesterday, Monday. No, a week ago today, I was testifying for a good friend of mine in her custody, in her whole divorce suit. So,
Oh, that's right.
but I went down to the courthouse and I got very calm and I sat there. Okay. She's not going to get an immediate ruling. She's going to get the ruling she wants. His lies aren't going to fly. She needs to make sure that his lies are there to be displayed. Yeah, she really loved this guy, which is a big problem with this whole mess because there's still part of her hanging on. It's not going to be settled till into June, but I don't think there's any. This is the truth is coming out. Nobody's looking at lies anymore. This is her with her kids. And I'm reading that 8 to be that all of the documents and digits and everything are going to be there. So,
Yeah.
I'm reading it as yes, it's going to be good. The outcome's going to be there, but you're going to get frustrated because they're not going to stay it from the bench. They always got to go back in their office and do something.
I feel like this is your daughter,
Mm-hmm.
Diana, and it did kind of crack things up. Like this really hurt her. This really broke things up.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, right? Broke up the family, and there's the babies, the butterfly,
Mm-hmm.
the chickie. She needs that documentation. They're talking about that again, and she needs to know that she has her own power, and
Mm-hmm.
and she is the leader of her life. I do feel like things are going to happen for her. She has some blossomings coming in,
Mm-hmm.
so she needs to stand in her power again. This is
Mm-hmm.
all about standing in her power. My vision and enthusiasm are uplifting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and and if she needs, they keep telling me. So I've done this before. There's a thing called CaseNet, CASE.net, and it's I think that's what they call it in most of the states. And you can go on and get a lot of documentation in that if she does not have an attorney, but she needs to have some. Uh,
She needs to have that. She needs a restraining order and whatever the ruling is on it to go in there because judges really don't like people that have restraining orders on them.
yeah.
So we're gonna. Okay, Cindy Shay. I wanna hear from my guides. I think I'm gonna pull from Swords of Light for this because it's a guide thing, not a card thing. And I'm going to tell you guys for a long time, I used to read people and they'd want to know their guides' names, and my guides were talking with them so they could tell me their names and stuff. But that really is something you need to handle on your own. You need to handle kind of dealing with your own guides. You need to open yourself up so you can hear them. And I know sometimes I muffle mine too, but we're going to see what your guides. Okay, Addie, who's my guide? What's her guide want her to know today?
So my guides are talking about they're saying dance, dance, dance. They want you to dance. Sometimes this is dancing with energy if you're
Mm-hmm.
learning a new modality.
Mm-hmm.
But they want you to play with the energy. They're talking about being joyful. It feels like maybe you lost something, Cindy.
Yeah. This says my card says it's almost over.
Yeah, yeah, and but they said it's coming in. Um, Something is going to inspire you very quickly, and look at all that light coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just going to be something really beautiful. Be sure and strategize. I mean, think about what you want because this energy is coming in regardless. Um, so, so all this energy right now, you guys, you can ask the universe for what you want and manifest it, or it's going to give you something.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get it one way or another.
Yeah.
So and advocate for yourself.
Right.
And so often we don't do that as empaths.
Yeah. Well, my guides, the message they got from your guides, it comes through me, the 47th channel here. I know it's been a difficult time for you. You've experienced so many challenges back to back, worries, concerns weighed heavily on your shoulders. But rest assured, however, your guardian angels are doing everything they can to help lift this burden. And dun, 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 this is when you get to look at it closer. I am happy to tell you that this time of difficulty is nearly over. There's light at the end of the tunnel, which Terry saw. And very soon you will see the skies clear, the weight will lift, you'll be able to breathe freely and focus on the future with optimism. I really feel that's happening to so many people. I think there's just been so much letting go. And the summer solstice, that's kind of, which I know is like a month from now, but not nearly as bad as you might think. Let's see who we got down here. Okay. I was at a light language event last night. There were a few of us there crying like crazy. The sun has released so much pent up, blocked up energies. You're grateful. I don't know that there's a reading in that, but yeah.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, Josh. Yeah.
Now I'm looking for questions, guys.
Okay.
I can't get a reading out of how do you all?
Mary Starshine has one at 131.
Okay, I've got one.
Okay.
Oh no, it's not. It's just okay. So we're going to go to 131. If you're there, I got one that's in caps, so we'll go with it first. Julie Hamill. May I have a guide from message for my guides? I'm gonna do it as a tarot reader. I started reading tarot when I was 12, and I read tarot faithfully into my 30s. And I always thought oracle cards were cheating, but I since found they're sort of a vacation.
They are.
Especially because there's so many nice ones now.
I love reading the pictures and hearing the stories
Mm-hmm.
when I use them.
For
me,
so
they really,
cute little bunny ones and things.
yeah, everybody loves those.
Ooh, Julie. Deeper insights are at hand. Your overall plan is good, but the details need some work. Reflect before you move forward. Let's see what provisos Ms. Terry can put around that.
So I'm getting something bounteous for you. Like you've got so much energy coming in. And part of this is healing. Something you're giving birth to. It's like you've been thinking about it, you've been looking at it, like what's it going to be? There might have been a time there when things were stagnant, the energy. Like sometimes when we're thinking about doing something, we get a little what's it called? Inertia. And maybe an inertia set in or something. That's easy for me. I have a lot of ADD and so sometimes I need help making waves, but something that you're working on is coming in for you. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, and we're going to go back to where were you? I don't hide you. Okay, and We got several messages, so we're going to stop at the one you suggested we jump to. And
Okay.
stop there. Um, okay, I don't know. Bemused shaman. Why did I have a weird urge to paint the refrigerator doors waking up this morning?
I'm so glad you picked that. I saw that coming in and I thought that is so funny. I love that.
Thinking about it. I never woke up wanting to do that much work first thing in the morning, so you're a better shaman than I.
Yeah. And bemused shaman, what does the refrigerator mean to you? Is it a holding pattern or is it a place of um, nutrition, a place of where we feed ourselves?
Or is it something you were denied? You couldn't go there when you were younger. Was food denied from you? But we're going to find out. What we
Yeah.
got is be honest with yourself, all your feelings, and even the difficult ones. So it's stuff you've stored up and kept in cold storage, is what I'm getting. Um, accept your truth and let the source take it from there. So whatever it is, you just need to be a little more honest with you about. I think you're running away from some ideas. Let me see what we got. There are times when facing your true thoughts and emotions can be extremely difficult and even troubling. Yes, it's important to recognize that you have these feelings for this reason. They are meant to guide you. Being honest with yourself and looking into the symbolism of those things around you, looking for the clear eye with a clear eye at the stories around you, you'll come to terms with your thoughts, your emotions, your motivations. When you have the clarity, you can go on to your work. You can go on without your worries and have faith that the process will lead you to the right place.
Yeah, I was looking to see if they said anything about this. Um, so I got the love maker.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we have a hard time getting all that energy out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you feeling like are you ready to give and receive? Um,
Mm-hmm.
so anyway, and you're a way shower, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
You're working with your energy. So is there something there that you're not sensing or you're not letting yourself sense?
You know what I got
Um,
a picture of? My
what?
guides just told me he's trying to hide it.
Oh yeah. And you've got a new guardian or a new guide coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've been through this puzzle
Right.
and it's coming in for you. Sometimes we do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't accept our powers and our you got something big coming in. You're giving birth to something big. So
Well, and I hope you like the color. Um, I wouldn't want to paint one twice. May I have a message from my guides, Rossi? Someone put in there, do I have a YouTube channel? Yes, I do.
oh
It's
my.
Nancy Jean's Garden. And please go subscribe. I have a membership for people who want to learn how to read an oracle garden. I'm not using it today, but it's an interesting thing. And I've been at this since I was 12. I've been on YouTube since December of 2020.
Bemused shaman says ugly, rusty rental food hangups, right?
Yeah.
Childhood no zone, temptations, confusion. You
Hmm.
ladies are good. Harbor, and he says he wanted. They say they wanted to paint it harbor blue.
That's pretty.
That
What's
would
in
be
your
beautiful.
thoughts?
Yeah. Go
And
ahead.
for Rossi, open up your spiritual gifts. Remember that your true nature is spiritual, not physical. Angels are sending you messages and guides for your soul's growth, and you're not listening.
Yeah. Yeah. So sometimes we don't set our priorities, right? We
Hmm.
get a little distracted. And that's really easy to do. There's a lot going on the planet right now, Rossi. So looking at your priorities, and I feel like your priority is that lotus blossom and Lord Ganesh's hand.
Hmm.
Um, So clear your energies, let go of everything. And there's a lot of energy coming in. Um, they're saying there's a revelation. And again, there's that beautiful blue violet or purple violet,
Mm-hmm.
violet flame. Um, so so there's something that you might be looking at doing. You're going to get clarity, and this is card number 15, so probably next month.
Yeah, it says journal. The words are in your hands. If you can write it down, you'll be able to see it more plainly. Okay? Let's go down. Hi, Sharon. Good to see you here. If you're watching the uh, chat, Sharon and Rossi are both putting how to reach both of us.
Mm. Oh, so Nancy Jean also does 9 candles.
Mm-hmm.
A special. You do a lot of ceremonies, Nancy Jean.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
that's why the elementals like me.
Yeah, yeah. So working with crystal gardens and 9 candles, really special ceremonies.
Mm-hmm.
And Rossi says journaling it is.
Yeah, go ahead, girl.
Yeah.
Guidance from my spirit guides. I'm preparing for an upcoming exam in August for a permanent teaching job. Am I on the right path with this exam? Is it going to be important to my career? So that's going to be that's a tarot card question. You you got the oops. Let's see. I'm just gonna lay a yes no about the information about your exam. I also teach tarot, and I'm starting another class May 23rd. If you go to my website, which is crystaldirections.com, you can find all the information there. I teach with a guy named Jeffrey, and he's been reading for a long time too. And between the two of us, I read all different sorts of decks. He only reads one Rider-Waite deck. He's the one he's got in now. He lives in Mexico City. It's in Spanish, but it looks just like it's in English. Well, yes, this is really important for you because before someone convinced you not to take some professional certification, you should have taken jazz, and they were wrong. And this is what's going to make people understand who and what you can do. It's going to give you the ability to control your own career. And yeah, it's a pain in the butt studying for those exams, but you can do it.
I want you to look at that and be thankful. Like, already know that you have it. Walk into it knowing that you have it. Because I'm feeling a little something in the solar plexus. Like maybe you've got some anxiety about it. Also, that's your other brain, so just knowing that you have it, giving yourself that power.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just follow the stream for a while. Somebody saying
Mm-hmm.
something to you. You might have felt a little underwater with that. But you can open up your eyes. She has her eyes closed and she's not all the way
Mm-hmm.
in. You can also be healing waters because everything is bounteous. I think this is the second or third time I've pulled that card. So, and that is generously given relationships coming together.
Mm-hmm.
Looks really good, Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like it is going to be very important for your career.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. You're going to do
Yeah.
well. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
on to finding the next person. Okay. I'm having a reading. Have a reading on my current energetic status, please. Let's see if I can get my cards right.
Liz, maybe it was you that had the solar plexus anxiety because I'm feeling some anxiety, a little something with the heart too. Not physically, really, but
Mm-hmm.
just like a heavy heart about something. If somebody disappointed you, um,
Energetic status. Oh, you ought to be feeling really good, girl. You've got both the sun and the moon, so I think you kind of walk between the two energies. You had a bad 10 months. It did drain you a bit, but you've made the right choice around people around you now, and you're doing great. And you also, we got the card, at least it's on the other end of the questions, the one about they figured out their problems.
That's great. Yeah. So, you know, be sure and let your creativity flow freely. And because you are so talented. She's a great healer.
Mm-hmm.
There's that tummy trouble, tenderness.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you're taking good care of yourself. I know you're a great healer, but take care of yourself. Make sure you're eating properly. And you get the gift of giving. You're blessed and grateful for your generous heart. So, yeah, you're going to be all your gifts. So, everything looks really good, Liz. I know it's been tough, but it's all coming in.
Okay. And who did we promise we would end with?
Oh, I think it was 121. I think it was Mary. Mary.
Mimi.
Oh, I can't remember.
120. Mimi
Oh,
is at 120.
when okay.
And okay, so your go away. And Mimi, she's turning 70 this week. You're a mere child. You always come on my show with your birthday. You're always going to be younger.
Mimi, you've got either a grandma or a mom on the other side that's coming in and talking about birthdays when you were a little girl and celebrations. And it's like I think there's a lot of family over there that's already given you a party,
Mm-hmm.
celebrating with you. Be sure and ask them for something, Mimi, because
Mm-hmm.
holidays like that are really special. Like
Mm-hmm.
um, you can ask for what you want. Um, yeah, so clear your energy, like let go of all the old
Mm-hmm.
stuff they're talking about. Chop it up, and that's been here. So this keeps coming up too.
Mm-hmm.
Revelation, give yourself healing. This is a really good time to manifest anyway,
Mm-hmm.
astrologically. But in a week, you got a birthday. That's
Mm-hmm.
huge. And 70, that's such a sacred number. That's like
And it's
you're
also it's a karma free day. Whatever you do that day is yours to do.
yeah, you have divine support. You got it all right now. So going forward, yeah, make up what you want. Make
Mm-hmm.
yourself a 10 most wanted list. It looks amazing, Mimi.
Pray from the heart. You got 23. Prayer really can move mountains. Reach out to the divine for your heart's concerns and watch your miracles unfold. That's a wonderful gift.
That looks like grandma too.
Mm-hmm. Somebody's up there. She's got an angel with her.
Yeah.
Okay. That we do have one more that I found beyond that I thought was the one you were looking for. I've
Okay.
been experiencing my head tingling very strong every time thunderstorm moves in. Does this have any meaning or is it simply energy? It's just the time of year we're in, sweetie, where we're much more tied to the energies than we have been before.
Yeah. And that's your crown chakra too, Brenda.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Brenda's a great shaman.
Okay.
Bringing in that energy when it comes in, um, use it. I mean, have some fun with it. Do some writing or readings because you're so gifted. But yeah, and you might wake up. A lot of you, like when we wake up, you might feel like you've been getting downloads all night. So that's what it
Yeah,
feels like to me.
that happens. And let me, so I can say an official goodbye. Goodbye. Uh,
Yay.
Yay. And yeah, I just feel like you're very sensitive and it's just that time of year.
Yeah.
And it's nothing wrong with it. I feel like it's just Yeah, you didn't know this was going on. I mean, really.
Yeah. Divine and All.
Mm-hmm.
At $10. Thank you, Divine and All.
Oh, thank you. I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm not very far. It's hard to run the cameras and run the things. And
It's really hard. Yeah.
somebody wants a quick note, and I'm not going to do a whole reading on it. Watching the elementals. I work with the elementals because they kidnapped me and said, "You're coming to work with us." They love rituals, and they really like my 9 candles, and that's what they one of the things they wanted. But they are really reemerging in the world, and in a set of prophecies from China, this is the year that they claimed the dragons were going to fly off the wall. Even about the number of dragons that are on walls in China. It's going to be busy. Um, and you can, the best thing you can do really is read up on them because they're not what we think. They're not, they're not. And the one thing they were getting really pissed at when they were talking to me was they were getting tired of being confused with the aliens and the angels and everything else. They're different. They're from this planet like we are, and they're every bit as petty as we can be. Trust me. There's a Netflix series called Dead Boy Detectives, and it's guys who die in England and they're ghosts and they're ghost detectives. And anyway, they run into some elementals and they run into some sprites. And I think people, after they see that movie, are going to go, I saw sprites with like Tinkerbell. Swear like sailors and flip him the bird. I mean, really. But it's an actually a much more accurate representation of who they are. So, do you have anything to say in closing?
Mm-hmm. Thanks everybody for being here, and thank you moderators for keeping us safe. And Craig says that he feels better. He saged and went around the house.
Good. Yeah, I mean, really, honest to guys, I taught a class, an Oracle Garden class, and I always send the violet flame with the first lesson plan and say you're going to be working with energies you may not have worked before. So go around and say this in your house. So this woman really thought it was kind of a fun thing to do. So she said it in this room. And then she went and set it up in the front room. And then had a friend come by, and a friend said, "Did you change the drapes? It's so much lighter in here." And the woman's kind of going, I thought it was brighter, but I thought it was all in my mind. So she went around her whole house, and she'd been messing with cards and screwing with pendulums and doing all kinds of stuff, but nobody had ever told her how to cleanse. And she said she spent that afternoon going around and cleaning out her house. She said, there will never go another week where I don't say that in my home.
Wow.
She said the change, she said everybody who comes in feels it. And that's not to scare you from trying cards and things, but the least you should ask is, do I have permission to do this? And if you hear a resounding no, run for the hills. Or am I dealing from my higher power? And that'll send in enough protection. But if you want to learn long term, go look on my website, crystaldirections.com. In resources, there's the violet flame. It's got it for your house, for your kids, for your car, for your pets. I mean, it's got it.
Nice. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there.
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff out on the internet. I mean, I guess, and we'll cut this off because people are fleeing. I have to get off my lunch hour. But there's a lot of shows that'll just show how to do something, and they don't explain the other half, which is how to protect yourself.
Yeah. And I love that you've got so much information about the pendulums too.
Yes, I have pendulums. Yeah. I have all kinds of stuff. So,
yeah,
everyone, and thank you for joining us. And we'll be on. Teri's going to be traveling for a bit, but if you do become a subscriber on my channel, you'll know exactly when the 9 candles are going to be, because you'll hear about it every single day.
Yeah.
And y'all take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.